Hello, everyone. Welcome to part two of the June 2023 paper two for social studies. So I've already posted section A where I went through all four questions. This is now section B where I will go through all three questions. In this section, you will have a choice to choose either communications, consumer affairs, and tourism. Let me say that the audio might not be the best, but this is the best that I can do at the moment, and I'm just fulfilling a request by several people who have asked me to work this paper. Persons have asked me to work the January 2024 paper two for social studies as well, but I'm not so sure about that because I am a little bit busy at the moment. All right, so let's go to the first one on communications. When you're answering SS for social studies, you don't have to do it like English, where you need a thesis statement, you need to probably write a conclusion for English. No, for social studies, you only answer what they ask you for, indent from the line, and you should be good in answering the question. So each part of the question just indent, and you should be good. All right, so it says define the term copyright. Copyright is a legal concept that grants the creator of an original work exclusive rights to its use and distribution, usually for a limited time, with the intention of enabling the creator to receive compensation for their intellectual effort. But some copyright last a lifetime and not just for a period of time. State two types of creative work. All right, so two types of creative work could be literature or literary work, artistic work, musical work, dramatic work, as well as things like software, architectural designs, and some other intellectual creations. All right. State two types of creative work. Oh, you went through that already. Outline two ways in which artists can protect their work. Two common ways in which artists can protect their work would be like copyright registration. Artists can register their work with the relevant copyright office in their country. This provides a public record of their ownership and can be helpful in enforcing their rights if infringement occurs. Another way would be watermarking and digital rights management, which is called DRM. In short, artists can use watermarks or implement DRM technologies to deter unauthorized copying or distribution of their digital works. Watermarks can also be visible or invisible, and their DRM can restrict access or copying of digital files through technological measures. Next part of the question says, suggest three actions artists may take to discourage the mass media from publishing information that may be harmful to the local community. Then you explain why each action is likely to be successful. All right, so you give the three actions, then you justify. Students tend to lose marks here because they will give the action but no justification, or sometimes they give the action and the justification is weak. All right, let's look at how artists can help to discourage the mass media from publishing information that may be harmful to local community. One of the things that they can do is engage in dialogue. Artists can initiate dialogues with media outlets, journalists, and editors to discuss the potential harmful effects of certain types of information on the local community. Then in the justification now, you are going to say this is likely to be successful because if artists highlight the repercussions and offer alternative perspectives, they can encourage responsible reporting because people can see the danger, or the media can see the danger of irresponsible reporting. Justification. Next action is create positive content. Artists can produce and promote positive, uplifting content that counters the harmful narratives often found in mass media. This is likely to be successful because if artists showcase beauty, diversity, and resilience of the local community, they can indirectly discourage the publication of harmful information. Another strategy is collaborate on awareness campaigns. Artists can collaborate with local organizations and authorities to create awareness campaigns that educate the public about the impact of certain types of media content. This is likely to be successful by raising awareness about the potential harm caused by sensationalism or misinformation. They can encourage media outlets to be more cautious in their reporting. And that's 20 out of 20, and we'll be done with the consumer affairs with the communications question. Let's look now to the consumer affairs. Consumer livelihood and the rising cost of living. Write an essay on the topic above in which you state two types of consumers found in the Caribbean. Describe one factor that may influence a consumer's demands for goods or services. Outline two benefits of credit unions to consumers in the Caribbean region. Suggest three actions that individuals may take to minimize the effects of the rising cost of living, and explain why each action is likely to be successful. All right, let's start with the first part. It says, state two types of consumers found in the Caribbean. Types of consumers, we have individual consumers, right? You tell me one other type of consumers that you can think of outside of individual consumers. All right, that's correct. We have group as consumers, and then we have businesses as consumers. Very good. Describe one factor that might influence a consumer's demand for goods and services. One factor that might influence a consumer's demand for goods and services is the size of a person's income. That will determine how much they can buy and what they can buy. Other factors that I'm going to throw out there might be the price and the individual's taste, and you can justify those. Sorry. Outline two benefits of credit unions to consumers in the Caribbean region. One benefit of consumers in Sorry, I got distracted for a moment. Outline two benefits of credit unions to consumers in the Caribbean. One benefit of credit unions to consumers in the Caribbean is the offering of low interest rate loans. People can benefit from this because credit unions usually offer loans at lower interest rates than big banks. So that's beneficial to the consumers. Another benefit would be that credit unions usually offer partner plans, like where I'm from in Jamaica, and you pay forward a particular amount each week, each fortnight, each month, and then the credit union will give you an extra amount of money on what you contribute for the 6 months or for the year at the end of that period. All right. Other factors would be a sense of self-reliance, and credit unions also promote community development. You know, that will benefit people living in the community. Next, it says suggest three actions that individuals may take to minimize the effects of the rising cost of living, and then you explain why each action is likely to be successful. All right. Action an individual can take to minimize the effects of the rising cost of living is having a budget, right? And a budget tells you how much money you have and how much you spend. This is likely to be successful because when you have a budget, you can plan properly how you're going to spend the money that you have, and you can eliminate waste. And it also helps you not to overspend so you can save. Good. Another action is to shop wisely. Shopping wisely so you maximize your money and get as much as you can. Don't go for certain well-known brands where when you have some quote-unquote no-name brands that sells the same thing with the same quality and the same benefit. You have to shop wisely and save where you can. I'm not saying you are going to go there and buy the cheapest with inferior quality. No, shop wisely. All right. Another action would be using and caring for your possessions well so that they can last as long as possible. This is going to be beneficial because if you buy a particular item and you take good care of it, it means that the life of the item can be extended for as long as possible without it, breaking apart, no longer being useful, and you have to purchase the same item in quick succession. One other actions could be conserving and recycling. And there you go, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. What is wrong? Forgive me. 20 out of 20 for the consumer affairs question. Now let's look at the tourism question. All right, so it says, what is tourism? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to just Google what tourism is. All right, share your definition now of tourism. Tourism refers to the activity of traveling to and staying in places outside one's usual environment for leisure, recreation, or business purposes. This is usually for more than 24 hours, but less than a year. If it's less than 24 hours, then it's not tourism. And if it is more than a year, then it is no longer tourism. Now, this says outline the impact of each of the following on the development of the tourism industry in the Caribbean. First, let's look at infrastructure. Adequate infrastructure, including transportation networks, accommodation options, and tourist facilities, is essential for supporting a thriving tourism industry. Well-maintained airports, road, ports, and hotels make it easier for tourists to access and explore Caribbean destinations. Additionally, attractions such as museums, restaurants, and recreational facilities contribute to the overall visitor experience. Investments in infrastructure development can attract more tourists, enhance their satisfaction, and stimulate economic growth in the region. Let's now look at disposable income. Disposable income refers to the amount of money available for spending after taxes and necessities have been deducted. Higher levels of disposable income enable people to afford travel expenses such as transportation, accommodation, dining, and entertainment. In the Caribbean, tourism development is closely linked to the disposable income of potential visitors, both domestic and international. Economic conditions that increase disposable income, such as job growth, wage increases, or favorable exchange rates, can lead to greater demand for travel and tourism services in the region. Now let's look at the final one, which is climate. The Caribbean's tropical climate is one of its main attractions for tourists seeking sun, sand, and sea. However, climate variability and extreme weather events such as hurricanes can pose risk to the tourism industry. Rising temperatures, changes in precipitation patterns, and sea level rise is associated with climate change may also affect the attractiveness of certain destinations and impact tourism activities like beach vacations, water sports, and ecotourism. All right, and this is where sustainable tourism would be important to help with climate change. Good. The next part of the question says, suggest 3 ways in which communications technology may be used to improve tourism in CARICOM. And then you explain why each way is likely to be successful. All right, so one way in which communication technology may be used to improve tourism in the Caribbean is advertising through mass media. So the tourism industry relies on providers being able to pass on high quality and current information to their prospective customers and consumers. Tourism advertising in the Caribbean operates at various levels, so regionally, nationally, and locally. So if advertisement is a big thing on mass media, then the tourism product could be out there and catching the eyes and ears of more people who are able to purchase into those tourism products and help to grow the industry. All right. Another thing would be e-ticketing as a communication technology, right? E-ticketing refers to the ability to book and pay for travel over the internet. This can avoid the need for paper tickets completely. And in the case of air travel, allow people to check in either online or at an automatic kiosk at the airport and so avoid lengthy queues at the airport. This is going to be successful because the world is changing and becoming technologically driven. So if people know that they don't have long waiting lines or they don't have to go to a physical building to purchase the ticket and they can just use their phones, their laptops, their tablets to purchase these tickets, and the tickets are on their phones and they just show it when they're at the airport or whatever port of entry, then persons are going to want to support those tourism destinations because they know it's ease of access to get in and out. Good. Sorry, another communications technology that they could use is actually feedback in the way of online surveys, right? So when you actually leave a destination, they could ask you to complete an online survey, right? With these online surveys, you would give the pros and the cons, right? The things that were good and the areas that need improvement. The persons involved in these industries know that get the feedback can work to improve their tourism product. This is going to be successful because it's a win-win. If you visit a destination and there were things that you like, then the business owners can know, all right, that we are doing these good things. And if there are things that you are not so happy about, then it gives the opportunity to the business owner to look into what they can do to improve their tourism product. And you as the consumer too, if you see that this business is willing to improve on an area that you found not so nice, you more than likely would want to go there to visit a second time. And then no tool is more powerful than word of mouth when it comes to advertising and promoting businesses. So when you tell somebody, say, here, I went to X place and it was this good, you know, I had this issue and the company actually is working on fixing the issue, or the company actually fixed the issue, then that is a good thing. All right. So solid 20 out of 20 for the tourism question. All right. I wish you guys all the best on your exams, and I pray that you guys study hard, read as much as you can, and come out with those grade ones. All right. All the best going forward. Thank you.